Yahoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to the Aquarian Adepts, my platform to become your spiritual server, and welcome to your daily Adept report for today, Wednesday, June the 27th of 2018. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. And woo, Mars has officially gone retrograde, so I'm not sure if you felt it, but things are gonna get a little eerily quiet. It doesn't mean that you can't initiate things, doesn't mean you can't move things forward and act or anything like that, but we do have to kind of go internal and like really examine these actions, these behaviors, and who we are. We have to consider that, you know, Mars is the sign of the self, it's the sign of the ego and behavior, and it's in the sign of people, you know, of society and of the collective. So we're really trying to find who we are within this collective and really trying to find our uniqueness within this collective. We have to also consider that this energy is squaring Uranus, which is in Taurus. And Taurus is ruled by Libra, which is also a sign of the people. So it's kind of interesting. We're trying to figure out really how to balance what we want with what the world wants. We're trying to figure out how to balance what we want with what other people want. So there's definitely a sense that we kind of need to compromise in a sense, but not compromise our integrity at the same time. I think we are coming into a time where we definitely are looking to find ourselves and who we are within this collective, but also, you know, remain true to our convictions, but also not be afraid to have maybe even these convictions change or altered, because this is Aquarius we're talking about. Things could change on a dime. This is the lightning strike. This is the earthquakes. This is random crazy stuff happening and crazy weird weather. You know, this is, so don't be surprised if a way that you were going or a direction that you were going, that after this retrograde or during this retrograde, you decide to kind of go in another direction. You decide to kind of shift things off to the side of it, because that's really what this is about. This is about altering the way that we have been behaving within the collective so we can move forward in a more positive direction. This is going to be a check to our masculine energy, you know, our divine masculine energy. We also have a full moon today. I probably will be making a longer video talking about this full moon, but we have a full moon in Capricorn, and this is going to be an interesting full moon because it's going to be pretty sensitive. This is happening on the Capricorn Cancer axis. You know, the sun is in, you know, Cancer right now. The moon will be in Capricorn at the time of this, and it's also going to be conjunct Saturn. And Saturn is at home in Capricorn, and the moon doesn't like to be in Capricorn. So this is literally us having to grow up. This is literally us having to address certain emotions that have come up to the surface during this full moon, because that's what the full moon is. And when it's full, it pulls on your waters, it tugs on your waters. This is really going to be us having to examine emotionally our place in the world, where we're going, our career, our legacy, and whether or not we really feel that this is home. Because the moon naturally rules Cancer, and that's what the sun is. So we are now aware of the family. We're now aware of the home. We are now aware of our foundation, our emotional foundation. So with this full moon here, we're really trying to figure out if the place of our work or career, legacy, the place that we kind of put ourselves in, the people that we surround ourselves with, we're trying to figure out if that also resonates with that frequency of home, of a sacred space where we can feel comfortable in, where we can come into the space and feel secure. And I think right now what we're finding is that there's not a lot of security right now in the world. I mean, we're learning to we have to learn how to go within. You know, there's always this sacred spot within where you can go to and connect with Source and connect with the divine, connect with Goddess, God. There's always that place within you. But as far as our external world, we are learning that, you know, it might not seem as secure as we like it to be. I also like to think that at the same time that, you know, we are living in the greatest times ever, and that we actually are becoming more connected than ever, even though we have been perpetuated this illusion that we are not. So I think what's happening here is that we're having to emotionally kind of grow up and step up to the plate and realize that, you know, in order for us to really create this world that we really want to, where, you know, people do get along. We have to get to the point where it's like, yeah, you can disagree with people on certain ideas or even beliefs, but we have to get to the point where we get along, y'all. Like, we gotta stop some of this stupid shit and fighting. I'm not saying that it's not like you can't be a liberal, you can't be a conservative, you can't be this, you can't be that, but we have to get to the point where we at least get along. Like, that's really what this is about. And I think this full moon in Capricorn, if I have to say it, it's literally like a bunch of preschoolers in a room, and they have to share a certain amount of toys, and there are certain people, or there are certain kids within this school that have hoarded all the toys, and there are other groups of kids that won't assert themselves and be like, hey, you have to share, you have to, I want to play with the toys too. Instead, they just let these other kids just dominate them. That's really what's going on here, because we kind of see that there are certain groups of people, and maybe they understand the law of attraction better than us, or maybe their egos are kind of just running rampant and now they're having to be checked. That's what this Mars retrograde is also talking about, because we have to consider that Mars will be coming back into Capricorn. So this full moon is going to kind of be highlighting on that. You know, we're not going to have another full moon here for a while, and Mars will come back into this space. So it'll go back to the 28th degree of Capricorn. So it's going to be very interesting, where this is almost sort of going to be like the last time that we have this, at least for a while, that we have this full moon in Capricorn, while Mars will retrograde into this spot, meaning that this Capricorn energy is going to shift forever. Pluto's here, Saturn is here, Mars, which is in Aquarius, which is about the people, will retrograde back into Capricorn, and it's going to retrograde to the 28th degree. So that means it's retrograding to the top of the mountain. It's retrograding to the top of the Capricorn. If you think of Capricorn as the mountain, think of like the last few degrees, like, you know, 27, 28, 29, 30 degrees of Capricorn as the top of the mountain, which means that our divine masculine energy is going to reshape that area, which means that this change that we're going to see in the world, it's actually going to come from the top down. It's almost kind of like trickle-down economics, which is stupid. But it's it's going to almost be like trickle-down economics, because the universe is like, you know, we do have to fix this from the top to the bottom. And it's kind of interesting that if you know anything about the ancient pyramids of, you know, Egypt, apparently the top of the pyramids are actually older than the bottom half of the pyramids. So there's actually a belief that they were constructed from the top down. So think about that. So things are definitely shifting forever, and, you know, just understand that you kind of do have to grow up a bit. And, you know, it's like, it's not that you can't be emotional, it's not that you can't feel the range of emotions, but you also have to acknowledge that, you know, you are an individual within a collective, and you have to realize that what you do counts, what you think counts, what you feel counts. And you have to realize that it does not just affect you, but everyone around you. And it not only affects the humans, but it affects the animals, it affects the plants, it affects your guides. It affects all of this, because we're all in this together. The card that we actually have for today is the Emperor. I think this is actually a really great card, considering that Mars did just go retrograde when we had this full moon, because there might be a tendency to want to freak out. You know, we had this volcano that was just about to erupt, or it's been erupting, now it's suddenly gone dormant. It's going to be eerily quiet, and people are going to be feeling this on the inside now. They're going to be feeling this on the inside, and it might freak people out, because this is Aquarius energy, so people might go a little crazy, you know. They might feel like the mad scientists and them going like, trying to figure out what's going on. Or this could be like, you know, the mad scientist trying to bring this creature to life, and it's alive, but now it's destroying the town, and we have to, you know, we have to bring the creature in, and we have to teach us, like, hey, you can't just destroy the town, you know, you can't do that. We have to teach this aspect of ourselves to, you know, harness that energy, focus that power, and focus that energy, and then direct it. The Emperor knows what it wants to do, it goes for what it wants, but it's a very directive energy. It's actually a very awesome representation of the masculine energy. It's about focusing on and directing that energy, remaining true to our convictions, and staying strong through a time which may feel very unstable. It may feel unstable you know, as far as the egos go, and even emotionally, because we, like I said, we have this full moon in Capricorn, which is really a grounded full moon, and it's wanting us to ground these emotions that might be all over the place, but we're really going to have to come within and just realize that if we focus that intention, and if we remain true to ourselves, remain true to our heart, we will make it through this time, and we will make it through this time coming out the other end just further along the path than we could have ever imagined. That is it for your reading today. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you would like a personal reading with me, you can follow the link to the description below to the AquarianAdepts.com. And always remember, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile often.